Over time, the cues that spark our habits become so common that they are essentially invisible. The treats on the kitchen counter, the remote control next to the couch, the phone in our pocket. Our responses to those cues are so deeply encoded that it may feel like the urge to act comes from nowhere. For this reason, we must begin the process of behavior change with awareness. Welcome to Flourish. I'm Diane Planadin, and you're in the right place if you're ready to create an inspired life. And we do so by working on our own personal development and self-awareness so we can be strong role models for those we love and mentor, and strong for our own personal well-being. Today we continue our journey through James Clear's bestseller, Atomic Habits. And we're going to go over the first law, which is make it obvious. He says, before we can effectively build new habits, we need to get a handle on our current ones. This can be more challenging than it sounds because once a habit is firmly rooted in your life, it is mostly non-conscious and automatic. If a habit remains mindless, you can't expect to improve it. As the psychologist Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. That is where the magic lies. To bring it to the surface, to actually be aware of what you're doing, because us humans are amazing. We're like little robots you can program. And it all begins without you even knowing it. It's just automatic, just like riding a bike. You never forget. So he goes on to give some ideas here, like making a list, what is triggering it, pointing and calling. But he says if you still have trouble determining how to rate a particular habit, here is the question I like to use. Does this behavior help me become the type of person I wish to be? Does this habit cast a vote for or against my desired identity? Habits that reinforce your desired identity are usually good. Habits that conflict with your desired identity are usually bad. So if you got out a scorecard today and you rated your habits, the good ones and the bad ones, what would rate 10 out of 10? And then maybe 9 out of 10, and whittle away at it a little at a time. That's where the self-awareness comes in. You're like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Every night I come home, I'm too tired to cook, so I order delivery. I sit down on the couch, I get out the remote, Netflix and chill, right? Or you binge watch a series, or you're engrossed in something that you could probably watch later. But that's what he's talking about. What is the trigger? And the trigger that's for the bad habit is just as obvious as the trigger for a good habit. So you just have to work away at it. He goes on to say, the first step to changing bad habits is to be on the lookout for them. If you feel like you need extra help, then you can try pointing and calling in your own life. Say out loud the action that you are thinking of taking and what the outcome will be. If you want to cut back on your junk food habit, but notice yourself grabbing another cookie, say out loud, I'm about to eat this cookie, but I don't need it. Eating it will cause me to gain weight and hurt my health. And that's how you're talking to your subconscious mind. And if you think talking out loud to yourself is for crazy people, think again. Psychologists have proven, and I did actually get some additional notes, which I'm going to link the actual information in the show notes for you as well. So if you want to really delve into the psychology of this, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and I will also link his 12 Rules for Life series I did, highlights the power of speaking clearly and articulately as a way to organize thoughts and improve one's life. In his book, 12 Rules for Life, he emphasizes the importance of being precise in speech. By doing so, individuals clarify their thoughts, and better understand their feelings, which ultimately aids in making more effective decisions and achieving success. This principle is tied to his broader philosophy that clear communication fosters order from chaos and helps individuals better navigate their lives. And I'm going to link the sources in the show notes. Moreover, however, psychological research supports Peterson's view on self talk. Verbalizing thoughts can enhance cognitive function, emotional regulation, and focus. For instance, speaking out loud helps organize thoughts, clarify objectives, and sustain attention, all of which are critical for personal success. There's 3 citations I'm including. There's a whole series on the playlist I'm including. You will love this. Lift yourself up for success. Clear goes on to say, hearing your bad habits spoken out loud makes the consequences seem more real. It adds weight to the action rather than letting yourself mindlessly slip into an old routine. This approach is useful even if you're simply trying to remember a task on your to-do list. That's interesting, right? The process of behavior change always starts with awareness. Strategies like pointing and calling and the habit scorecard are focused on getting you to recognize your habits and acknowledge the cues that trigger them, which makes it possible to respond in a way that benefits you. The process of behavior change always starts with awareness. You need to be aware of your habits before you can change them. Once our habits are automatic, we just don't pay attention anymore. You're really wanting to switch up your life. Start thinking, being aware of where your automatic actions are going and if they serve you or your future. Well, if you like the show, share it with somebody you know, and hey, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss the next chapter. We're really ramping up. It's the middle of August and we're getting back into fall, back to school, back to work. This is the perfect time. I'll see you then.